G, let's friggin' go for finals week with Toby.
Thank you, Latsy. Yes, you are with the Rugby League Journeymen, just another Rugby League podcast. We've got finals. Have we got finals fever? How's everybody's temperature?
Oh my God. It's high.
Spiking.
Through the roof.
Through the roof.
Like the Sharks form.
Spiking. All right. Hey, let's do this real quick. If you want to find us at Rugby League Journeyman, that's everywhere. That is TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Get on, like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody how awesome Rugby League is and how awesome our show is. On today's show, is there a Life and Times with Jerry and Jimmy?
Oh, yeah, I do. I just went back into the memory bank.
Beautiful. Positive place. I'm asking for your favourite postseason holiday. Currently, Jimmy is about to go on one, so I thought we'd make that the topic today. He's sitting in the driver's seat of a car. No, in the passenger seat.
Mate. Passenger seat.
Sorry, mate. Then we're also going to do some finals preview. A couple of big games. I don't know if you know that, Toby, happening this weekend. And then, have you got any awesome statsies for me?
Fuck, I forgot to check.
We'll find one. Other footy news, would you rather? And then we say good night and we move out of the studio because Charlie, he's got other stuff to do today. So we'll do that. Real quick, let's start with, I've got here, how is everyone? I'm going to save you till last again, Toby.
Okay, sounds
Worked well
good.
last week.
Yep.
Jimmy, you are off somewhere. You got your guns out, sun's out. What's happening?
Chewing gum disrespectfully.
I'm on my way to Cairns. We fly out tomorrow from Cairns to Tokyo. So go do 5 nights in Tokyo and then fly back to 2 weeks through the Philippines. And I think we found a cheap way home through Bali. So
How good.
maybe a few days in Bali as well. How good.
Now, Jimmy, as much as I enjoy the sound of you chewing, I don't know whether our podcast listeners have signed up for that.
Tendonitis, I think they're chewing that loud.
Sometimes you don't have control of everything, do you?
All right. So,
Mate.
Defensive.
Can you please throw chewing gum out and if I can put it there behind your ear and you can chew it when you're finished?
Is there also a reason you're sort of
Jerry.
parked up in a kid's playground wearing a singlet? Seems a bit sus.
I'm sitting in the car, mate, trying to find a quiet place because you guys whinged about everywhere else I went.
Oh, good, mate.
Gravity?
Sorry, mate. All right, at this rate, mate, you're getting half an appearance fee. Keep going.
Latsy, how are you? Is
I'm
your
good.
next fight booked in? We like to keep people up to date with.
Yeah, nothing as yet. I'm still awaiting the great man's call, George Rose, but back training hard now. So hopefully I'll find something out in the next few weeks. If not, I've got to get a few little things cut out of me, so I'll get that done.
What are you getting cut out of?
Fucking lipomas. My old man's they're hereditary and he's passed them to me.
What are lipomas?
It's like an extra ab.
They're not an extra ab, they're fat stores, aren't they?
Oh, thanks, Doc.
What about you palming them off as an extra ab?
Oh, it was
It's a fat
sarcasm.
store.
It was sarcasm.
It didn't seem like sarcasm. Have you got one that side too? Or
Oh,
is it just that side?
that's the one that sticks out like dog balls. They're
It's a fat store, is
fat
it?
cell, yeah. And I went and saw him two years ago, and I said I'll be back in a month, and I haven't been back because I just love training so much.
Oh, yeah.
But there comes a time where aesthetically I can't look at it anymore. Like I'm like doing my pose in front of the mirror, like pointing at myself, and like that's like.
I was thinking if I have that too. Is that what this is?
Yeah, no, you probably do.
Hang on a second.
Well, I got 2. They're very even.
Oh no, they're hip. They're hip.
They're
muscles.
muscles, mate.
They're muscles? As long as they're muscles. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's great for
Yeah,
your
they're
toes.
definitely muscles.
And is that because you had a lipoma growing on your head? That's why you grew your hair out. Is that true, Jimmy Maloney?
Nah, not true. But
sweet.
good story.
Yeah, no. Well, what was growing on your head that looked like a ball bag? What was that?
Oh, that's your face. Sorry.
Had a cyst there.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Okay.
But I am great. Thanks for asking.
That-
Jimmy Maloney's
I
just
love
bringing
that.
smiles to my face.
And let's finish with you, Toby. Congratulations. Big win on the weekend. Got it done against those Cowboys. How are you feeling?
Yep, feeling pretty good. Definitely rode the high over the weekend. Let myself sort of feel that jubilation, that ecstasy for a couple of days. You know, same as the week before against Melbourne. Let myself feel those negative emotions for a couple of days, and then Monday rolled around very quickly, and now it's back to work against a pretty challenging opponent in Penrith Panthers. So really looking forward to the challenge, and the week so far has been really good. So just excited to get the show on the road, really.
Mate, look, we haven't started the positive place yet, but I'm just going to jump in and give me mate a rap. I thought you played fantastic on the weekend. a little mate down the line here. He even said some positive words in our WhatsApp, which is hard for him to do. But mate, I thought you led the
positive stuff, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought Jimmy had gotten the wrong WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
I was going to write, mate, you know this is the Journeymen.
No, Professor, don't come and take me as a negative bloke, mate. You're the king of negativity.
I'm just trying to push it onto someone else. Oh, that Jimmy is
gravity,
negative.
oh man. But no, you mate. I thought you led the charge, most meters in the forwards, and mate, I can't wait to wait to see you rip into the Bash Bros this week.
Yeah, it's going to be, like I said, mate, huge challenge ahead. The likes of Fisher Harris and Leota, it's, mate, but as I said before, there's no greater challenge in the game than what I've got to face, what we've got to face as a team this weekend. So just looking forward to test my words against the best, mate, and try and beat the best to be the best. That's what you got to do in this game. So,
oh, shit. Damn. Mate, that's going to be on Google by the afternoon and in apostrophe. Is that apostrophes?
Yeah.
Toby Rudolph, written behind it, to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Quote. Original quote right there.
I want to run through a wall right now. Hey,
I think every wall's safe.
that one's a curtain. I could run through that one. Hey, amazing scenes post-match. We all saw it. What is the song you sing? Won't Back Down? Is that it?
Betty, yeah.
It's a good song. Good
song.
Good
I
tune.
haven't even seen that.
And won't back down. So give us some bars of it because you guys were belting it out.
Yep. Wanna stand my ground. And I'll keep this world from dragging me down. And I stand back down.
So if you haven't seen it, and we might be able to find this somewhere, Charlie, it's the whole Sharks team singing it, and it's all your support staff and family and stuff behind them. And they're singing it, and it gives you shivers. And then Toby runs over and gives his mate Nico the big hug, the big bear hug, big smile. Mate, I could see how stoked you were for him.
Yeah, for sure.
How's he feeling post that match?
Yeah, well, he's been on top of the world as well. Just to, we backed him all week, and he was saying all week that, because obviously there was a fair bit of flack that he copped throughout the week, and he said he's not going to let it affect him, and I think it's pretty safe to say he didn't one bit. So we'll never know what that's like. I'll never know what that's like to go through what he went through. Every single media outlet just sort of hanging him out to dry after him. Said after the game as well, thanks for backing me. He said to everyone in the team, because we all did. We all knew what he can do, what he can deliver. And, him and Braden Trindle as well, everyone was sort of giving him massive raps. Very well deserved as well. So very happy for my friend Nicholas, very happy for our team. I think we all felt a bit of the pressure not having a finals win since 2018. So no one actually playing currently had a finals win. And, it was definitely a certain monkey off the back that we definitely needed to alleviate, and look, just so happy for us. But look, it's only one game, and now we've got an even bigger challenge this weekend. So like I said, I've felt all the positive, warm fuzzies over the weekend, but back to work, boys, back to work.
Love that attitude, mate.
Jimmy, you got anything for Toby here, mate?
He might be on mute.
No, I thought they were really good. I thought I was on to something last week when I asked if Trindle was going to take over most of the kicking. I thought Trindle was really good. I think possibly for the Sharks going forward, that might be a better way for them to structure their footy. Let Braden run the side and then let Nico just do his thing off the back of it. That might take some of the pressure off him and the expectation and all that. So, but I thought they were really good.
Now, chat around, obviously, Braden more the number 6, but he much more played the number 7 role. Is that something that is discussed internally? Maybe you can't tell me. Does Fitzy stand up and say, all right, he's wearing 6, he's wearing 7, but we're actually going to swap him? Is that how it works in league?
It'd be just going to be on the ball more. Braden will be on the ball more. Nico might jump out the back or he'll run a short side, and then you got Will, who would have floated edge to edge. Yeah,
I actually have no idea how it works. Like, I'm in the middle of the field and I don't know what happens. So,
mate, was it?
I don't know.
Head down, ass up.
I think the numbers on their backs don't matter. It's just the role that they play. So I think it didn't seem like a whole lot changed. It just made Tricky had his hands on the ball a little bit more and was a bit more dominant. And Nico sort of just come and went as he pleased and did his thing. So
he I feel like he was competing hard on the kick chases defensively. He was popping up in
Nico
spots. Nico was, yeah, really well. So I think he was just strip the game back to basics and mate, the old cliche, a week's a long time with rugby league, and a week ago he was getting hammered. This week, there's more positive stuff getting said.
Yeah, for sure.
Funny game, man.
Oh, she's a funny game.
Not for the light-hearted.
No, you skipped out 24-0 lead at halftime, which everybody talks about the importance of a quick start, of a good start. Was there any messaging at halftime, like as in just keep the foot down?
Yeah.
Let's get to
all those things. Yeah, let's not take the foot off the throat. Let's,
Well, sorry, just quickly, because I saw before you went off at halftime, I think Mac has grabbed you and had a yarn. Is that what the chat was?
Yeah, I think it was, I can't remember honestly, but it would have been along those lines, mate. I don't remember a whole lot from games. In the moment I'm there and I'm present, and then once the game's over, it's just sort of fresh out of my mind. But yeah, all the messaging was there. We spoke about all the right things. Spoke about how they'd probably get a bit of a rocket at halftime, the Cowboys, and they were going to start pretty quickly and try and get some points on the board, and we had to respond. Obviously, they got a lead, not a lead, but got a second half surge, and they were sort of coming back at one stage, and there was a bit of butterflies in the stomach and a bit of nervous energy around, but look, luckily we managed to sort of come home with it. We do sort of all year, we spoke about being a very good second half team, and we have been all year. So it's interesting in the last couple of weeks how that's sort of shifted. But hey, finals is a new competition and all that. So
are you finding, obviously the game looks like it's getting faster and faster, right? And you looked out at your feet probably the 70th minute, 65th to sort of 75th minute, and Reece Robson popped his head out a couple of times, and I think he made an error after a shit pass. But, if they ice them opportunities, because you just look like you were swaying, like you were fully gassed. Did it feel like that on the field?
Oh, man, there's no such thing as a time in a game where I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Is that from the first minute?
Yes, it is hard out there. Whether you're wobbling a bit more as the half goes on, obviously that's the case. But I think we will just sort of stay composed. I think in the week gone by against Melbourne, we sort of let the occasion get the better of us, whereas now we knew that we've been here before. We know sort of our processes and our roles. And you're right, Reece Robson was sort of causing a big ruckus at that sort of back end of the second half there. But everyone was turning up. You saw everyone in that break. There was probably about 6 or 7, 8 Cronulla Sharks jerseys to the Cowboys 3. So when you have more numbers in the pictures, you tend to sort of get those moments in your favour, because you're sort of producing more energy, and it sort of tends to go your way. So just going to have a lot more of that this weekend, man.
For sure. Are we going to go from this game straight into the Penrith game? Or
I reckon we will. We'll keep going with this because I want to have a quick chat about the Cowboys as well, and then we'll break it up with our Budgy Smuggler read, and then we'll do the second bit. Easy. And that's pretty good. And then if we get time for other stuff, there's so much to talk about in terms of footy. First of all, well done. Didn't get sold on one dummy. I noticed.
Yes.
I was watching him. I was
and the kicking game got put away.
And two things we asked. We said, "Are you going to work on?" And mate, you nailed it.
Hey, thank you. Hey, thank you for making me better, you guys. You guys are just taking my game from leaps and bounds,
Well, I know that a lot of people thank Jeremy Lattimore for their careers. I want you to thank all of us, not just Jeremy Lattimore.
I just did. So there you go.
Very good. Hey, Jimmy, did you have something for Tobes then? I saw the hand go up.
No, I just thought, obviously, throughout that game, I thought at different times it was looking like it could have broken open either way, whether it was the Cowboys' way or the Sharks' way. Obviously, the game, I think there was only 2 or so penalties or something throughout the whole game. So it was a lot different to your normal club game, but Tobes, that's got to be a little bit of a concern for you boys moving forward, doesn't it? Through Penrith, you're still aware there's a fair bit to sort of clean up for you boys there, or what?
Yeah, definitely. We know we didn't play the perfect game. And that was actually, I was going to say that, thanks for reminding me, like when you said we're wobbling in the back end, there was so many like live periods in that game of ball in play, of no errors, of, as you said, 2 penalties in the game, maybe 1 or 2 6-agains for the entire 80 minutes, which is pretty unheard of. Obviously, finals, the referees tend to put the whistle away, and that's something that we're definitely going to have to look at throughout the week. But you know what? Our strongest footy, funnily enough, we've done the research, and it's in those live periods when when the ball's in play for 4 minutes or greater, our chances of winning go up and up. Whether people sort of believe that or not, it's a funny thing because obviously Penrith love to do that as well. But look, I'm not going to give away the game plan here.
Nah, do it.
Nah, do it.
Nah, tell us. Fitzy's
Keep it in the
thinking
pocket,
this.
bro.
Nah,
Keep it in the pocket.
nah.
Give the boys an exclusive. Do you reckon you deserve it, Professor? Fuck, the way you've been treating me. Nah, look, it's there's no secret. There's honestly no secret of how to beat Penrith. It's just you just got to kick the corners and do what they do to you guys. All they do is get through their sets. Their OBs are just, short, stocky and powerfully built bulls of men, and mate, they just starve your field position, starve your possession. So we just got to play their game and try and beat them at it. It's no secret. It's just it's going to be the hardest game of our lives. I've been saying that for much of this week. I fully believe that if we invest in what we have to do, it's going to be, man, it's going to make the Cowboys game look like nothing. So
yeah. Well, I guess you're the hunters and they're the hunted. So the pressure should fall on them a touch.
Massively.
They got to do, this is to go 4 in a row. I mean, obviously next week, but that's, I'd say the pressure's more on them.
Yeah, it's got to be for sure.
Well, yeah, there's no expectation with the Sharks, so they can go play freely. But yeah, again, like you saw with Penrith in that first week, muscle memory, they get in that position.
Are you talking
You can
about
bring it up.
the first 24 minutes?
Yeah, just
against
muscle
the
memory. They
Roosters?
get in that. But again, it takes one off night. They play 5 or 6 out of 10. These boys play 9s.
Well, also they're not at Panthers Stadium.
Penrith won't play a 5 and 6 out of 10 next week. That's it. No chance.
Sorry, Michael J. Fox, into the future.
Oh, sorry. When was the last 5 or 6 out of 10 they played in the semi-final game?
Whenever you played there.
Nice, bro.
Hey, we better chat some Cowboys, Jimmy. When you were the attack coach. When you're watching their attack on the weekend, are you getting frustrated with them, or are you seeing your fingerprints? What are you watching when you're watching them?
Yeah, mate, I caught up with the boys on Saturday night, actually, the coaching staff and all that, and had a beer and talking. I didn't think the Cowboys played very well, to be fair. I didn't think they were very good the week before against Newcastle, and thought that might have been some nerves with a home crowd advantage, with no one giving the Knights a chance and feeling the pressure and that. I thought they might have relaxed and played better, and then I just didn't think they really played the footy that they can play. So I thought, from a Cowboys perspective, that was the most disappointing thing. I think to get to those big games of the season and not play your best footy, I think that's what would hurt them the most. And I think so long as they understand now, and talking to a few of them, they do, they're still miles off. You can say, oh, we got to the second week of semis, but in realistically, they're not within QE of where they, were a chance to actually take the competition out. So heaps of hard work and heaps of improvement to come from them.
So obviously, I mean, you've got the cattle up there. Some amazing players, Dearden,
Representative players throughout the squad.
Drinkwater, amazing players. So how do you go that one step better? You made it to the second week. How do the Cowboys make it to the third and then the fourth week?
Oh, new attack coach for sure.
Is that what it is?
I think that's just
I've heard that Cooper Cronk might be going up there.
No.
Really?
No,
Wow,
I made that up. I was hoping to get a reaction out of Jimmy. Nothing. Didn't care.
No, I think for the Cowboys, it's got to come down to basically all the little things. So they've got some players that can do some freakish things, but I think mentality-wise, they don't turn up consistent enough week in, week out. So I reckon for those boys, it starts, with leadership from Tommy Dearden and Ruben Cotter, guys who their mentality's spot on and they do all the little things right all the time. I think they need to continue to do what they do, but drive the expectations of others to do the exact same thing. Have some hard conversations that need to be had and make sure that everyone's on board. Otherwise, you'll end up, getting to the end of seasons doing a whole lot of work and not getting the reward that you possibly can. So plenty of ability in the side, but there's a bit of work to do.
I agree on that, Jimmy. And I think even defensively, I feel like that needs to be a real focus for their group. I feel like a lot of games this year they leaked a lot of points. I'm not too sure where they ended at against.
Did they have? Was it the Cowboys that had 52 missed tackles
last week
on the weekend?
Yeah, it sounds right.
Which is
and that's I just think
Prof's awesome stat. But
yeah, there you go. I'll steal that. I'll use that later. I just think maybe I don't know if it's a mindset shift or whether that's a big focus for you guys. I know most NRL teams do work on it, but. And I know you got some young back rowers. You obviously got some hard heads in the middle there, but and then you got Cotter and Robbo who will work all day. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like defensively, that's probably where they could get the most upside. And because like you talk about their attack, they do have red hot attack. When they're on, there's no one better.
Well, I was sort of like, this might be a bit controversial, but I know in 2015 they won the comp. They sort of catered a bit for Jason Taumalolo, and he's obviously a freak of attack, but now they make him get in the kick chase, they make him do the effort areas. Do you sort of cater your team around, not him so much, but just his strengths more to say, like, leave him out of the kick chase, let him do the little effort areas so he can run 300 metres a game, so he can be so effective in attack? Or, is it really worth making him do all those, and don't get me wrong, it's definitely a team action making him do these... Yeah. These effort areas, but then you don't have his power as much in attack. Like, is that something they look at, or
that's a fair comment, mate. And that's you do need to work with what you have, right? You need to that's the coach's job, and the coaching staff's job to look at their squad. And Jimmy's probably got a better insight on all this than us. But how do they get the most out of the cattle they have there? And do they have anyone coming in next year, Jimmy?
Yeah, there's a couple, I think. They've retained most of their guys. A little bit of a change. Obviously, they've lost a few coolies going to the Dolphins, and the Val's obviously going to Dragons. Chaddy's gone to Roosters. So they got some kids coming through. I think they signed Carl Lawton from Manly.
He's a journeyman, that bloke, isn't he? He's an old school journeyman.
Should we get him started?
Yeah, get him on.
Right. Yeah, get him a start.
Get him to take Maloney's role in Queensland next week. Next year.
All right, there you go. Is that your message about Taumalolo, is that also a cheeky little message to Fitzy? Saying,
leave me out of it.
Yeah. If you didn't have to do the kick chase, you'd be doing 300 metres a game. Is that what you're saying?
My game is built on effort areas. If I didn't do those, I wouldn't be in the team.
Oh, right,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
It's the other way. Let's look at that game, though, on Saturday. The mighty Cronulla Sharks take on the Penrith Panthers at Accor Stadium. What a block. Buster, hey, you two, I'm leaving Toby out of this. You two are the experts. What does Toby's team need to do to defeat these Penrith Panthers? Listen up, Toby.
I hope they get the flu through the week.
Play the perfect game. Yeah, they're going to have to play their perfect game, which Toby spoke about and he's aware of. Was it at Acor? What are we thinking, 50-60? What are they predicting?
Well, it's nice and close to Penrith, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every Panthers fan will be there.
Yeah, correct.
And then maybe a few
Sharks.
Sharkies.
Will we get a few travellers?
Mate, we only had 20,000 in Allianz.
But they were all Sharks, I feel like.
They were all Sharks.
Yeah.
It was a square of Cowboys.
But also week 3 of the finals is a bigger deal than week 2. So maybe
also the AFL was on the same night, so I think a lot of people didn't want to sort of drive in and deal with the hassle of parking your car and whatnot. So, yeah, I think there'll be a fair crowd out there. Hopefully about 60. It'll be pretty cool. Obviously be outweighed by Penrith supporters, but, mate, take the crowd out of it, we'll be right.
Yeah. Jimmy, the prelim king, what advice you got for Tobes, mate? This week?
But I hope it's a really good game. I think they are up against it. I think if you're looking at last 2 weeks, as we said, Cronulla, obviously Melbourne sort of blew them off the park. Then, as I said, I didn't think the Cowboys were that flash on the weekend, and I thought at different times the game looked like it could have opened up both ways. So if I'm a betting man, all right, and I put money, I'll put my mortgage on Penrith. I just don't.
Toby's sitting right here.
You could have said $100.
Toby.
You could have said $100.
Risky for a guy who's unemployed too. He's going to put his mortgage on it.
But I don't have a mortgage. But anyway.
Boom! I love that shit, Jimmy. Touche.
Yeah, no, but I just think it's going to be hard. I can't see it going any other way. Apologies, but that's how I see it.
That's why we get him in here, brutal honesty.
Yeah.
Well, and it is kind of the Jimmy Maloney Cup in a way. Lots of time. Oh, yes. Also the Luke Lewis Cup.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. Wade Graham
Also the
Cup.
Wade Graham
And Matt
Cup.
Moylan. And Jeremy Lattimore.
So if anybody knows, it is Jimmy Maloney. I'm going to put my mortgage, which I owe the bank a lot of money. Geez, I wonder what that feels like, Jimmy, not to owe the bank a lot of money. I'm going to put on the Sharks. Just to balance the ledger here. I go, there's the Sharkies.
The Heath Ledger.
To balance the Heath ledger.
Jeremy
Such a
Lattimore
joker.
hasn't-
Oh, huh?
Your mortgage goes to...
I don't have a mortgage, but I don't have a home.
Okay. Well, $100. Yeah, it's about $100. You're putting it on.
Sharks.
Ooh, love
Dun, dun, dun,
that.
dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
There's going to be a Panther
that's it.
attack.
Ladsy, we've had these bets before and you haven't paid your last one, but do you want to have $100 there? I'll take Penrith.
When that window in New Zealand gets paid back, bro, I'll start paying me debts.
Hey.
When that window in New Zealand that you put the canoe through.
You just said you're going to back Cronulla. You
Yeah,
want
I
to
did.
take that $100?
Come on,
Yeah.
Latsy. Come on.
It'll
No,
help pay for my holiday.
nah, I'm in.
Why don't you, can you give him some odds, Jimmy? Give him $1.50
What
or
odds do
something.
you want?
I think Penrith paying $1.10.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wes,
to me. What is the market?
I'll give you 200 if Cronulla win. You give me 100 if.
Oh, you
Cronulla
got it.
lose.
That is good cheddar.
All right, just take it off the car window.
Mate, I'll tell you.
You're a pussy, eh?
You're the man, bro. You're the man.
No mortgage in that, man. What a mad dog.
No, I'm just trying to be positive for my friend here. Far out, and you're just being brutally honest. Just good energy. I'm bringing the good energy
Yeah,
around
I'm
him.
feeling it.
Feng shui. Feng shui.
Can we close the laptop for the rest of the podcast?
Hey, friends don't lie to friends, mate. If you don't believe it, don't tell him.
He does
No, I'm
believe
not
it.
lying. I'm not lying. I believe that if they play 9.5 out of 10 and Panthers play 6, they'll win.
Next question, please, Professor.
Hey, let's park it there. Has anybody got anything else on the Sharkies or the Panthers? Do you want to give a bit of a, Panthers, what are they going to do? Or do we just want to move on to the next game?
I know there was a few Panther boys out partying in the city on the weekend.
Yep.
Seriously?
Nah.
Really?
Where's Buzz Rothfield? Run that article, baby.
Okay. I like that.
See, come out and wrote an article this week about Cleary potentially going to England. He's trying to put the energy out there around the Panthers.
he actually?
Yeah. Because Mary Fowler, she's playing in Manchester.
Wow.
That'd be interesting. God, he would carve up Super League.
Oh, my God. Matt Duffy just made the dream team over there.
What are you saying, Matt
What's
Duffy?
it?
No.
that's
Like, I
Is
just,
he playing,
no.
Ladsy?
Whoa. Why are you having a crack at Duffy?
I'm not having a crack. He's a good
Isn't he a
player,
good
but
player?
I saw he made the dream team, and he was like the Jai Field. He made it last year.
Why are you sweating?
Huh? What do you mean?
Bro, you played with him. Didn't you like him?
No, I like Duff. I got along with Duff, but I'm just saying he's gone
so
over
why
and
did
made the
you
dream
throw him
team.
Under the bus?
See, this is that negativity. You're looking for negativity in my statements.
You know, Jimmy Catalans isn't that far from Manchester. That's a
To be fair, Jimmy never made the dream team.
Oh, really?
Didn't you, Jimmy?
I did make the dream team 1 year, actually.
Did you? No, but the French
Yeah,
league don't
lucky
count,
maybe.
bro. French league don't count.
Oh, very good.
Did you actually? Fuck.
Let me do the Budgy Smuggler read very quickly. They are our apparel partner. They have been for the entire season. It's a massive thanks to them. The gear they've sent us is amazing. The gear that you can purchase is amazing. So there's things like the hats. You can see that me and Tobes are wearing the hats today. The shirts, which obviously Latsy's wearing there. Lots of different designs you can get in that. Also, the hoodies are amazing. I've just taken it off. It's a little bit warm today here in Sydney, but it is epic. It's like wearing a hug. Also, the undies. If you love a pair of Reg Grundies, there are none better. Have you got them on, Tobes?
Nope, Simpsons.
Nope. All good. There we go. Yes, Latsy's showing them to the camera now. They got a... Is that hurting? They are up a long way.
good.
A deluxe bamboo blend to keep your tools nice and secure.
And that they do.
And also, obviously, their standard Budgy Smugglers and Smugglets, which is the ladies' swimmers. They're outstanding. Get on the site. It is www.budgysmuggler.com.au. The code is Journeymen RL. It's changed slightly. They put an RL on the end. Journeymen RL. That will give you 20% off the entire site.
Whole range.
Anything on the site. 20% off. Also, just remember, they can go on and see people that have done the code. They know that then their advertising is working here, and then we get them next year. So please support us, support them. Hooray for Budgy Smuggler. Right. The other fixture from the weekend, well, let's go. The other fixture coming up this weekend is the Storm taking on the Roosters.
Oh, you don't go back and look at Manly's result?
I didn't catch it. It was a nail biter. That's all we need to say. No.
You okay?
Well,
But yeah, DCE like waved at him this week and he ignored him.
No, for the first time he goes, "Hey mate," it's because he's losing.
No, he would have had squirrels. He would have had squirrels this week after Mad Monday.
That's true. Yes, 40-16, the Roosters defeated Manly. We talked about you guys getting off to a flyer. Goodness me, the Roosters.
Yeah.
They wouldn't. Well,
Isn't it funny that the dog that's been bitten, like when that you lose week one, they just come out humming in that second week.
Yeah, well, the top 4 are left. They're the ones that,
Yeah.
ended up in the final 4. Manly, they started pretty fast in the second half, didn't they? Looking like they could sort of.
they
produce a
did.
comeback,
Well, actually, no. It was 20-4 at halftime. Tupou then came out and scored that try in the left corner. It was the Tedesco cutout ball.
Teddy's on fire.
What about Teddy?
How
Two
good,
tries, 2 try assists. He's Teddy from 25 years ago. I don't know how old he is, but he's absolutely killing it. Cleary played the house down. Sanders Smith.
He played really well, eh?
Played awesome. Good to see him score that try. Well, what about this for your first NRL try? You step DCE.
No, was that his first try?
I'm pretty sure it was his first NRL try. Sanders
Oh,
Smith.
I reckon that's Jerry, mate.
Oh, have a look. Check it, Jerry. Jerry's on the phone now. If it is his first try, steps past DCE, arguably quite a good player, and then just right foot step past Tommy Turbo, also quite a good player.
bad.
In a semi-final. Big celebrations. Nice work there from him.
It was.
Oh, thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Jimbo.
That's,
I was confusing the
prof.
goals.
That's 2-0.
Yeah.
Professor Statsy, so are you going to, I don't know, take your head for a shit or what's
If I had a hat, I'd raise it.
Okay.
I'll tip it
What about the impact of Warrior Hargraves? Obviously,
Yeah.
from the very first carry,
Oh, yeah.
kick off, Manly are down a man, and I think that's
Yeah.
people sort of don't or people outside underestimate what he means to that side.
Yeah, he's a warrior.
The fact that he come out the very first carry, Manly lose a bloke for the game, and then when Jake had to go off,
Was that Hargraves as well?
with his.
Yeah, but what about the bloke they lose? Is the bloke that
No, I
won
don't
the
know. I
game
don't know who
last
that was,
week?
but then obviously
It was
Jake had to go off
Kohler.
for HIA for 15
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty costly. That's not. Jakey's pretty pivotal in how their attacking stuff works. A lot of it starts
Middle
with him
third.
as the ball playing around the middle. So 15 minutes without him, even though he was always going to come back, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It's
No.
a funny one. Like Victor Radley, who
Fuck, he played well too.
for a bloke that
Broken
probably
scapula.
Yeah, how do you actually play with a broken scapula?
So what you do, right?
Have you done it?
No.
So
I've had AC
they just
joints
put
and dislocated
padding?
shoulder. Yeah, no, they would have needed it, I'm
Heaps of
sure.
needles. Yeah, it would have been a bunch of needles.
oh man, scores the first try.
Would have been like, oh no, but don't say.
No, so go on, mate. You started there.
More needles than a drug clinic.
Oh, it's too much. Let's talk Manly season quickly. Actually, Olakwatu. Is there a better second row to watch in the NRL at the moment? He is
Britton
just-
Agora.
All right, so Manly season. How do you give me a score out of 10?
Yeah.
I thought it was 9.5. I thought they did great.
Really?
No. What do you give it out of 10?
I'll give him a 7.
6.5.
Yeah, 7.
Right. So I believe Seabold has just inked. He's an extension. So he had one
Off the
year
back
left.
of the season,
I
has he?
think so, and he's inked for another year, which I guess is 2 years, which is fair enough. Good signs there. Green shoots turning into saplings.
Feel like they need to do something next year. You lose DCE.
Was he retiring in this year?
Oh, it'd have to be close. He's
I
35,
don't get-
36. He's
age
still
is just a
killing it.
number.
Oh, here we go.
Like what? He'd be in the top 5 players in the
Yeah,
league.
I fully agree.
How many halfbacks have won a premiership over 35?
Don't know. You should
Statsy.
know this.
Have you got one?
I'll call Middleton.
I don't think you should retire until you're playing, until you can feel it coming down. Do you know what I mean?
And like,
Yeah.
he
Sweet
still
Tom
has
Brady.
the ability to turn a game on his head. Like he,
Oh, man, 100%. The 40-20s, he just steps
That's
up.
what I mean.
Top.
Yeah.
I love him, but it's not just him. I feel like Tom and Jake are getting longer in the tooth.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. But what was it, 2 years ago? Tommy Turbo, or 3 years ago was
Daly,
the Daly
21.
I
it
don't
was
think
when-
Tommy's that old.
He's my age.
Yeah, what are you, 28?
28.
That's not old for a league player.
Maybe he's just had a rough year at the horse race, the races, and he just needs to go out to the paddock for a bit, and then he'll come back ready
you
to
know,
harm.
every year, poor old Tommy suffers from an injury, and Manly is a club that basically their season hinges on one bloke. So if they can find a way to
hinge
stop
on
that
two.
to hinge around 2 or 3 blokes, there's not. I mean, even Panthers, right? You'd think Cleary is the guy that.
Oh, well,
But then Luai just comes straight in. You go,
Yeah, they still win though.
that's what
they
I
Still
mean.
win.
That's what I mean. So how did Manly win without Tommy? Is the best.
Well, they've got these young kids coming through, like the Kohlers. Trying to think.
Has he got a brother?
Kohler, Hopewadi.
Oh, wow, Hopewadi.
He's a gun. He's
I
18
love
years
him.
old.
Wait, and surely there's another Hopewadi 2 years after that. There's another
Exactly
Hopewadi
right, that's what I'm
2 years
saying.
after that.
They love that. They love the Hopewadi story last week.
I didn't mind it. To your point, DCE, he's Queensland captain at the moment still, and he still can perform massively. But if they can sort of share the load a bit more, share the love a bit more.
I'm going to go forward into the future.
Ooh,
do
crystal ball.
the Queensland Maroons have both him and Ben Hunt again next year? Because then you look Tommy Dearden, Munster, then you also have Walsh and Ponga floating around the ruck, and they're talking about maybe Reece Walsh 7 next year.
Really?
Well, I don't. What Ben Hunt? So Harry Grant obviously is going to play the starting 9.
No, well, it's always been Ben Hunt.
Honey
starts.
starts.
No, it is. But what I'm saying is, if so, why are we losing one of them? Or you're saying if we lose one
I'm
of
just
them?
they're both getting longer in the tooth. They're the same age. They'll be
you think-
both 36 next year.
Do you think Ben Hunt is at the top of his game like DCE is?
No.
No.
Not over the back end of the year, but he still has some of them great performances, but he wasn't as consistent.
Okay, now
That
take
might
it-
be environmental,
now,
though.
Now forget who puts money into your account every month. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He may not be happy because there's been a lot of chatter around him potentially leaving.
Chatter. Indeed.
Ooh, I like that. All right. Well, the obviously Manly loses, but the Storm take on the Roosters at Amy Park on Friday down there in Melbourne. That's gonna be a blockbuster. That is a.
I'm just going to get me statsy.
Yeah, go. What do you got for
No,
me?
you keep talking. I'll come back in.
Then why'd you start talking?
Sorry.
We all remember the game that the Storm played 2 weeks ago against you. Do we all?
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Do
yes.
you want me
Rings
to
a
talk
bell.
about it? Yeah.
Rings a bell.
So where they obviously we saw the Panthers play the perfect first half. The Storm played that unbelievable second half against you guys. Cameron Munster is just absolutely flying. Harry Grant's killing it. I'm still saying best spine in the league, even though you guys don't agree. Can the Roosters find a way to beat the Storm? Jimmy Maloney. This is another Jimmy Maloney Cup. Tell us what you think.
Look, it's going to be hard again. I think and Melbourne obviously in the box seat. I think the fact that Roosters, it wasn't a really tight game that probably would have taken a whole heap out of them. Obviously, it's going to take a bit out of them, but because they had a bit of a deficit and a bit of a buffer there, I think they could probably take a few breaks when they could is going to help them. But Melbourne coming off a week off fresh, if they play that same footy that they did in week 1 where they just sort of don't give you an opportunity, it's going to be very tough.
Is it fair to say that Melbourne don't get AFL?
What do you mean?
Fair to say that Melbourne don't get AFL.
Brisbane Lions versus Sydney Swans.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Rugby League Heartlands.
Yeah, so you watched. I wonder if Melbourne will get behind the Storm now.
Well, that's sorry. Thing that triggered that, I saw something about Harry saying everyone come to sport because they're the only Melbourne team left in. But the stats: wins at the venue.
Yep.
Melbourne Stormers 76%, and the Roosters
24.
31. Ugly, and they've lost twice to Roosters this year.
Is there? When was the last time? Is it the stat 1 in 10 Roosters versus Storm? The last 10 was that one, or was that the Panthers? I can't remember.
The Panthers. I've been the Panthers.
And then
Yeah.
Roosters are on a win-loss sequence, so they're due to lose this week.
That's he's back. The man is
Awesome.
back. The man is back.
That's
Wow.
Will you watch this one on Friday,
Oh, 100%.
Toby?
Yeah, I love footy. I always sort of, I know Jim Maloney always says put a movie on for the lower games, but I still tend to watch those. This is very different to that, the other end of the spectrum. Definitely be watching it. Who do I think? I mean, I really, geez, the Storm's obviously going to be hard to beat, but the Roosters showed what they're capable of on the weekend against a pretty fair Manly side, although, it was a blowout of a game, but you can't count the Roosters out with people like Tedesco playing the way he's playing, Cleary, Sanders Smith coming into his own a bit, Victor Radley had a blinder.
Joey Manu.
Joey
and
Manu.
Sualihi, the
I mean, look at that. Yeah, Joe Hargraves in the middle. Like
It's just Hargraves and Radley coming back in. They're a different beast in the middle of them boys.
They are, and that's Melbourne sort of pride themselves on their middles and how they perform, and they're going against a very, very fair pack in the Roosters. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Roosters get this done. I really wouldn't be.
When you're watching it though, is there a team that you would prefer to win? Or you don't care either one? To be the best, you got to beat the best.
Exactly right, which is what we're going to do this weekend. So.
Love it.
Last year, because Roosters went down there week 2, because Roosters beat you week 1, right? Mm-hmm. Then it was. I think they were drawn, and then you remember Melbourne kicked to the corner, and Warbrick scored on the bell to win the game. So
that's right.
They have been down there and played well in that environment. So
surely when it's a semi, and okay, there's this history. It actually all kind of goes out the window, does it? Like it's
no idea. Yeah, my stats could mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for something to talk about.
No, mate, and they're awesome statsies. I absolutely dig it. All right, let's go around the room. Who's going to win this and by how many? Let's go you first, Toby. Storm Roosters.
I'll go an upset, and I'll go the Roosters by a field goal.
Ooh, I like that by 1.
I think it's going to be a really tight game. I'm not sure where the penny falls. I think Melbourne, week off, troops fresh, but I reckon Roosters are going to go out there and bash them. And like, they've got Big Nelson, who's a big middle, but outside of that, they're just hard workers. You know, you got Josh King, Trent Lerero, them 2 big back rowers, Bloor and Katoa, who'll be pumping the edges, but then, you've got Crichton and Victor. So it's going to be a war of attrition out there. It'll be great to watch.
Yeah, we didn't even mention Crichton in our All-Stars chat about the Roosters there. Jimmy, who you got? Storm or Roosters?
Yeah, that's Storm. I think Storm will be too good.
Have you moved into the back of the car now? Are we playing musical seats with Jimmy?
And for those of you watching, apologies for making you seasick.
It made me put the thing on my phone up on the dash, and then it overheated. But then on
the sun.
Oh, God.
Why don't you put it in the like the... What do you call it? The thing that drops down, the sunshade. Put it in there. Yeah, put it in the visor.
Shout. Pop it in there. See how that goes.
So you got to close it a bit and then stick the phone in. So you know what I mean?
There you go. All right. Well, you mess with that. I'm going to go. I think Storm are going to be too good down there, and they're cooking. I want to discuss quickly. Right, 4 teams left: Storm, Roosters, Sharks, Panthers. Arguably, at least 3 out of the 4 people that have the coaches that have always been in the conversation for the current best coaches in the league, and obviously Fitzy slides in as well. So Craig Bellamy, Trent Robinson, Craig Fitzgibbon, and Ivan Cleary. I want you 3 rugby league experts to tell me who is the best coach out of those 4.
Bellyache.
Bellyache?
Yeah. It consistently troops leaving in key positions and gets Jeremy Lattimore-like players who go down there and he turns them into rat players. Like he's a gun. He's unbelievable. Was it 13 or 17 prelims they've been in? But yeah, I don't think that's a conversation. I think, and I love Ivan. He's probably my favourite coach, but I feel like the squad he has there, he's been kissed on the D a little bit. They're a fantastic group of young boys who will play together for a long time. But obviously he's steering.
They've lost players, but Latsy as well.
Yeah.
For years they've constantly lost players and they've still stayed where they are.
Yeah, no, I agree. But Nathan and Jerome, I think the challenge for them is when Jerome goes. Them 2 boys have been together. Why did you like that call? Did you?
I'm thinking like press conference. Ivan Cleary sitting there and somebody goes, Ivan, do you think you've been kissed on the D a touch?
Anyway,
sorry,
but I just think, I think when them 2 boys break up, if Nath can then get them to another grand final under his dad's tutelage, they have lost players over the years, and to get where they are with that now, because Stephen Crichton, far out, I rate him as nearly top 5 in the league at the moment. He's fantastic, but
if you're looking for the players they've lost, they're all over at the Dogs.
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, surely you got coached by 3 of the 4 I mentioned there, right? Did you ever get coached by Ivan?
Fitzy, you had Fitzy.
Oh, you had Fitzy as well.
And he would have Fitzy in country camp.
Okay, well, this is it. You've been coached by all 4 of them. Who's the best coach?
Just think you do need a job next year.
This might be an inside.
It's hard. Look, it's hard. It's a hard thing to say. Like, if you're talking about time and longevity and that, like Bellyache's had, how long's he been? 20-odd years or something now. And I don't think they've ever missed semis, have they? Bar the year of the Surrey Cup or something like that. I think there's a stat like that. Like, that's over longevity. That's incredible. When you look at Ivan with the squad to do a three-peat like that hasn't been done in a long time. Robbo, what's he's at
1-2 in a row.
2 in a row, which they were the first ones to go back-to-back in a while.
Should have won more
And
with
they
these
had
squads.
4.
Don't agree.
They do 3 or whatever over the spirit of 6 years. Like, they've all had so much success. I think, obviously, Fitzy, if you're talking about those 4, then Fitzy's number 4, just purely because he's new to what he's doing, and he doesn't have the runs on the board yet. But
Robbo's number
the other
3.
3...
Well, Jimmy, we can look at their stats and how much they've won. We know you as a player that back in the day, occasionally, we've learnt this on this podcast, a coach would give you a game plan or two to practice something. He'd walk away and you go, oh, fuck that, we'll do something else. Out of those 4, who did you do that with the least? As in, who did you feel like was giving you the best game plan and the best instruction?
Great question, Professor.
Thank you.
I used all their game plans. I thought, so if you're talking about me and like in terms of who taught me the most about footy, I had 12 months with bellyache and learned so much. Then I had 3 years with Robbo. I reckon I probably learned more about the mentality and that of games and different things under him. And then obviously my time with Ivan, I had him right at the start where I'd gone from Melbourne over to the Warriors and then finished up with him right at the end. So probably had 2 different sort of experiences. One where he was sort of helping me become a regular first grader, and then towards the end where I was sort of, I've been doing it for a long time, and then I was more in the leadership role around Penrith. So, as I said, all those 3 I've got a heap of time for as coaches.
So you want a job for all 3? Yeah. Either one will
You
take
need to
care
get
of
into
your
I'll take a
politics.
job for all 3.
okay.
All right, once he lands a job,
We'll ask him again. No, we can't then because, oh, mate, he's the best.
He's the best ever.
right, okay. Hopefully he lands a job that doesn't involve any of those 4 teams, and then we'll ask him again.
Podcast King, baby, let's go. Holidays every day.
Gents, we are. I'm looking at the time here. We've got to speed things up here. There are other bookings in this suite today. Positive place. Would you like to do that? Would you like to do the life and times of Jerry and Jimmy?
Yeah. Okay.
Is it a corker? Is
no,
it a
it's just
cracker?
really timely.
Perfect.
Oh,
Go
it's,
for
it's
it.
not really cracker. I
Lazy.
feel like all the crackers have come out. But I saw Tristan Sailors at Oktoberfest. And it threw me down memory lane with Jimmy Maloney. And Toby was last year. He can jump in too. But, mate, we give Jimmy the keys. We heard about last week how his wife messed up the flights. We give Jimmy the keys to the ignition for the places to stay in Amsterdam and in Oktoberfest. And Jimmy Maloney's turned up at the airport, backpack in tow. That's it, backpack. That's all he brought for probably 6 days overseas. And Amsterdam was a great couple of days. We had great fun, and then we've turned up to our accommodation in where were we?
Munich,
and it was a campsite. It was like a Kentucky tour. Mate, it was
Mate, stop whinging. It was a campsite.
It was crook.
Run through state. It was state travel with the mob. They run it through, and it was free piss all time, like 24 hours a day, pretty much at this campsite. So you'd wake up, go get a beer, head into the beer tents, do it again 4 days in a row.
Well, I wasn't stoked. I wasn't that stoked with the travel choice.
It was a little bit cold because the weather, and the tent was leaking a little bit.
Costa Rican, bro. And there was me, him, like 2 of our best mates, Jimmy Grehan and Brod, and then Piercy, Dill Napa, and Dean Fado. But I ended up getting a hotel 2 of the nights because I couldn't handle it.
Who were you in a tent with?
That was my crew. It was a big canopy, it was like a big Indian
7
tent.
of you were in the one tent.
It was crook.
Oh, wow.
And then he didn't have a shower the whole time we're overseas or brush his teeth.
I had one shower the night because Dino booked a hotel because we'd wake up and we'd be dusty and the showers, and it was cold and all our towels were wet on the floor. It was like walk 300 metres over there to the shower or walk 50 metres over there to the bar. So you can imagine which decision we made most morning.
Yeah, but see, I went in because we had to wake up at like 5:30 on that last night. I had gone to like 2 and I was tapped, but I was like, this is my last night. I'm getting the column best out of myself. I walked in and people had shat in the communal showers.
Oh,
it was
my
like
God.
it was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. And then I'm in the biggest hurt locker all the time. Drag him up again. Didn't have a shower or brush his teeth. Then we go to the airport, and because my other two mates had gone and stayed in a hotel the night before, but because they'd had enough. And he goes, do you want a coffee? And I said yes. And then next thing, you give me a full cream coffee. I don't drink full cream, and I'm waiting in line, and I just start profusely sweating. And then Mr. Larson running to the toilet and just thunder spewed. It was horrific.
wow.
Yeah.
God.
And my last memory was saying goodbye to Jimmy Maloney. Back to Barcelona. It was, mate.
How good's Oktoberfest?
It's
the greatest place in the world.
Yeah,
Honestly, the videos I saw on Oktoberfest like yesterday were sweet Caroline.
Have you got
Everyone
any
is
videos
just,
of you guys at
oh
Oktoberfest?
mate, do I have videos?
Well, can we let's pop one or two in here.
I've got a doozy of
Have
myself
you?
as
So
well.
was your experience to say, it's so funny when two mates go on a holiday and one thinks it's the greatest thing ever and the other thinks that's the worst
Oh,
time.
no, I thought it was fantastic. And he also, I had to get stitches in my finger because he broke one of the big glasses because he cheers me too hard.
This is a cracking
Oh, this
match.
hair cracker.
What about, so that's it. So we would, because you do like, as they're singing the songs in German, so they all say Prost, and you're like, cheers.
Prof.
And the big, like the big steins or whatever, they're thick as. And so you're sort of hitting and then.
It's hard to
as
break
the
them.
day goes,
It's hard.
Yeah.
You can though.
we were hitting like harder and harder. And we were like,
Not
these
we.
things don't break.
Not we. It was just you Wally. Mate, you were doing it to randoms too. This guy was going to flog him. I'm like, bro, you flog him. I've had enough of him. If I can do my head, it was the last night
Do you
in
remember Eine
German.
Brusik? Eine Brusik, Eine Brusik. That song that plays every 15 minutes. It is wild over there, mate.
Mate, it is the best.
It is the best thing ever. I went there with my brother, and he's done just about all there is to do in this life. And he said it was one of the best things he's ever done. So,
Are you feeling what I'm feeling?
Oh, let's go. Oh,
Let's go.
imagine
Podcast
going there, podcast tour. We'll get
Journeymen.
Jimmy to get the accommodation. He'll get his missus to book the flights.
we'll be on fire. We'll be on fire.
Oh, don't smile, Jimmy. It was a joke.
I think he's cut out.
Oh,
Yeah, he missed it. No, he cut out. All right, very good. Yes, we've got about 2 minutes left. Do we just want to? Do we want to
Positive
do the
place?
positive place? Yeah, because we've got to get it.
Positive.
Pretty positive here. And this is a perfect
well,
time.
their favourite postseason holiday.
Favorite postseason holiday is so. Jimmy, do you want to go first?
Oh, wait, what?
What was your favorite postseason holiday?
Me and the family did like a 9-week camping trip through Europe from France all the way around to Greece. Did a 7-night cruise around the Greek islands and then road trip back. So that's probably my top one. Went to about 13 countries in 9 weeks.
That sounds unreal,
That
actually.
does sound good. Yeah. Have you got one, Jerry? Your favorite postseason holiday other than the obviously Oktoberfest?
I went to Vegas. That was pretty cool.
Yes, we've seen vision of you in Vegas.
Oh yeah, correct.
yeah. That
No,
was a good
that
one.
I love Fiji with the family as well. That's very different to Vegas. Couldn't both ends of the
Yep.
spectrum there.
Fantastic.
But yeah, you can't beat mate.
No, I mean,
like you
that
say,
sounds
Oktoberfest.
epic.
We have to do that.
Well, I'm keen.
I mean,
friendship.
Unite
Let's go.
tour. Let's go.
And you, Tobes?
So one thing about Oktoberfest, when we said funny videos, I actually shat myself in white shorts. And there's a video of them, these random Swedish dudes filming me with a brown stain in my pants. So
I think we
was-
can use that. I think
Okay.
that's fine.
Is it went on
happens.
Instagram?
No, I have it on my phone. They sent it to me. We made friends with them later on. And they go, oh, we saw this video of you guys yesterday. I didn't even know I'd done it. I was just dancing around and having
And
a
you
good
shat?
time. And I've seen you this video, haven't I? Oh, man.
No.
It's crazy.
Okay.
I'll send it. Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so
We'll
that was
pop that
one
up.
thing I wanted to say.
But it happens. So
Hey, 10 litres of beer a day is going to do it to you.
Yep. That's the show. It's another great show. Well done, everybody. Jimmy, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks,
I know that was probably a
Jimmy.
bit of a hassle, but very good as always. Latsy, good luck getting your extra abs removed. Yeah, don't lift your shirt up. And good luck on the weekend. Tobes will all be watching.
Let's go, Toby.
All the best, Tobes.
Cheers,
Good luck,
boys.
mate.
Thank you, mate.
Give it
Cheers.
to those
Maloney.
Panthers. All right.
Wait, can you hit us with some Japanese? Farewell.
Arigato.
Nah, how do you say
Arigato.
goodbye?
Konnichiwa. Oh, no,
Is
that's
he
hello.
actually in Japan right now?
No, he
Sayonara.
can.
Oh,
Sayonara.
close.
That's Mexican, isn't it?
No,
Sayonara.
no. Sayonara is Japanese.
Oh, there you go.
Isn't it arigato? Isn't that one?
Arigato gozaimasu. I think
Yeah.
it's thank you very much, maybe.
Oh, okay, I thought it was goodbye.
Anyway, very good.
Cheers.
Sayonara.
Cheers.